It's been a few days since we last made a video, and we've been very busy. So we've been working on a lot of little projects that they're kind of minute, little things here and there, making space in the battery area so that we can stick a couple of charging controllers, things like that. And then also working on our solar rack, little like boring things, a lot of painting, a lot of like grinding some stuff off, all things that like could be a video, but it would be like 4 or 5 day video. It's just not something that, we'll show you the finished product. However, today we are running our errands. So we're doing some laundry right now and doing kind of the boring things. We also closed our PO box, and we have one last package here from Gypsy Bewitched. She was very, very kind. She sent a whole box over and a couple really fun things. And what was the first thing that you said?
Wow, she's really gotten to know us.
Which is hilarious. So this it's like a little disco ball keychain. I think it's really cute, an American flag disco ball. Love that. And I actually think because our disco ball that she actually sent us a disco ball before, which is very on brand for us. She sent us one before. Unfortunately, it fell on my head while we were driving. That's not fun, but this will sparkle in Letty. We would put it in Indy, but unfortunately, it would just block the view, and we like to, show you guys the view. So that is freaking awesome. I have one thing that I'll show you last, but she knows Emma's love for coffee, and we don't have a coffee maker in here. This is a little like brew to go portable cold brew system. That pairs nicely with the Tim Hortons coffee that we don't get a whole lot of here.
And I love, and I very much appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You're feeding her addiction. We just got her off the a little vanity mirror for, it's a little light up LED light mirror. That's kind of cool, and it's USB powered, so that will work well in the truck. And we're also not using the USB ports that this would connect to, so even better. That's really cool. It's a a little make your microwave clean again. A little microwave cleaner. Actually, it's a little, I think vinegar and water goes in here, and I think you just like, as you just run the microwave for a little bit, and it'll help kind of clean a little bit of steam it. Yeah, that's kind of fun. Love that. Stanley Cup. Oh my, I'm done with Stanley Cup. We're done with Stanley Cups.
Sure, those are very cute.
Even her coworkers have made fun of her for how many Stanleys she has. Have they not?
2 Stanleys. Got multiple cups.
4 and I don't know.
Variety of cups.
Whatever, variety of cups.
Those are straw toppers.
These, a little flamingo magnet, which is perfect, really perfect. We've got a disco flamingo theme going, and I think we have for a while.
That's just like us.
Yeah, we just haven't yeah. Anyways, this is perfect. Oh, for fuck's sake. A little book. This will come in handy, actually.
Joel and I, when we first started dating, I had a bunch of notebooks and things, and Joel goes, "We don't need things to write on. Just use a device."
Yes. Well, there are some times though where like you want to write something down, or especially like we're stopped at a light or something like that. That's nice. Flock it. This bag is actually one that I look forward to using this. Flock it. Little flamingo, American flag. I mean, I feel like this represents our channel well. Gonna have to use it. And we've got a little shirt. We're gonna work on a project. We've not done enough craft cricket things yet. We have some plans for this, so she'll be our guinea pig, I think. And then sent us something very nice. That was very kind. And got my wallet here. This might be the coolest little gift. So it fits right in my wallet there. It came with a keychain. I took that off, but. Little beard to comb right here. And you would think the metal would take, no.
And the fun thing about this is that what people don't know is that every morning, Joel and I fight over my hairbrush.
This is what I would usually use right here.
Joel claims his hairbrush as my hairbrush. Well, or my hairbrush is his hairbrush, rather.
No, it's our hairbrush. And then I get a little like, I don't know, she's got her hair. You know how girls get their hair in there and whatnot? Well, not no mo. This is amazing. Like every time I go, oh, you know what? Let me just grab that. Right there. Just fits right in there. Look at that. Look at that sucker right there. That is so thoughtful. Anyways, Gypsy, you've outdone yourself.
Thank you so much. That was very kind.
Let me try that again. Anyways, this is really like, it's very kind. Like generosity. Not to mention, by the way, all these folks that are, you hear Emma's voice now more than ever. And honestly, you've been talking a little more than you usually would, I feel like, because you have a mic and...
That and because normally, like, if you can't hear me when I say things, Joel cuts it out because you can't hear me.
That is true, actually.
So now there's no excuse to cut what I'm saying out because you can hear me.
Yeah. So let's just get that off you. I'm just kidding. No, I think this is awesome. But these are also from Gypsy. So again, it's super, super, super generous. Yeah. And I don't know what to say. Like, this is...
Thank you. Very kind. Very much appreciated.
So we closed this P.O. box and we plan to open another one. And then we'll update all of the descriptions in the future. But yeah, that's coming up. And I don't know, I just feel... All
right, we got laundry going though, and we got a project, so we got a timer we got to get started on.
Yes, and it's one of those things that, like, we're doing a little bit of drilling today, more paint touch up, we got to do that, and yeah.
Let's move this party outside.
Yep. I spent all that time washing the rig the other day, and now look at it. What a shame. All right, so just a couple of updates here. So when we reached out to the company, they sent a few extra parts. So they didn't send like the top rack again, but they sent some spare arms, which I thought was kind of interesting. So they come like, sort of like this, where they have a little, like, so you can wrap a cable around it. We chopped that off over there and chopped it off on this guy. And this was one of these. So we chopped that off as well. And it also came with an extra one of these. So basically everything, including the nuts and bolts that we need to get this going here. So we've got one, so our panels are only so wide. So we've got one here and one on the other side. So as you can see, the panel is basically going to bolt in, kind of like we did here, into these L brackets here and here. And so this will basically is what it's going to look like. We need to do some painting and touch-ups and all that good stuff. Also, if you leave let's see some of the rust on this, that's actually from the shavings. It's not from the bars themselves. It's from the shavings. So we didn't clean this off well enough last night, and we're dealing with it today. Blech. So that's basically what it's going to look like. Now these, we spent a little while in the store, and we spent a good amount of time like looking at all of our options. Found these for under $2 a pop, but they were basically 4 holes total. And so chopped those off at either end. They don't look great, but they don't look, I mean, honestly, it's just holding up a solar panel, so who cares? And then gave this one layer. Of course, yesterday when we were painting these, it started raining. So threw it in the bed of the truck, tried to keep them dry, and that didn't work so well, but we're gonna go ahead and paint them up anyways. I did just put in a few holes in these, and we're hoping that this works. If it doesn't, whatever. So we drilled through, actually not as hard as one might guess. We're using DeWalt drill bits, and those seem to, I kind of blew out the back on that one. Those actually seem to do all right. So bolt through, holds the L brackets, because the L brackets, they come over a little bit, so we kind of need to scoot these ones in, but it's not that big of a deal. This also will give a little tiny bit more rigidity. I wish it was holding this part up, but it's to my surprise, especially with the solar panels, you get some vibration, but it's really not bad. Really, really not bad. Overall, like the shaking and the solar panels are just fine. They're actually not slipping at all like I thought they would. They seem to have settled into place, and they're not loosening. The holes on the panels aren't getting any bigger, whatever. Which is awesome. So I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting, but I was not expecting to go as smoothly as it has. But we also put a little bit of this rubber door seal stuff up there. That actually cut down some of the wind noise, to my surprise. So might put some more on that. I don't know. But from back here, you don't even notice it. So we got all this going on. We've been doing, we got our project inside. I'll show you that probably in another video, but this is a small update on this. We're doing all these little things. And then of course, see the hard part about making a video about this in particular, unless we want another 5-part series, right? And we're not in any hurry, right? And we don't mind change. If something doesn't work, we just switch it up. Like, what? No harm, no foul. Like, why would we care? It doesn't, whatever. It's all an experiment, right? all life is an experiment. You know, a lot of people think there's one way to do it, and no, it's all an experiment. Anyways. But everything needs to be painted. So even, you know, we don't like to see the silver. And then when you, like you can see, oh, we'll go to the other side. The extra threads on these bolts, we're gonna go ahead and cut those off and then paint that, of course, kind of like we've done with these. And we need to add some black paint to this as well. That bed liner paint is pretty cool, I think. And the nice part about these guys is that even though we chopped this off, this is all going to be covered by a solar panel. So, you know, that extra kind of ugly. We could Bondo it, but who cares, right? We did leave these ones on, which might seem like an odd choice at first, but who knows if we're gonna wanna use those, you know? Because we can always chop them off, but I don't know. Like, is there something we can put across here? Just a little, you know, like I always have this idea of putting a flag up. I love that idea. You know, hanging a little flag by the, but I don't want it to look too busy, right? I actually I'm really digging the look of the solar panels. We've gotten a couple compliments. Right now though, of course, we have cardboard, we look like hoarders. You know, you don't have context for what we're doing. Like you're like, oh, look at those weirdos, you know. We got what looks like mold is just dirt, but moldy plywood. Or maybe that is mold actually, I don't know. Is that mold? I mean, it's only been wet. Oh no, that's mold. Huh. Okay, well, we're carrying around moldy plywood. Gross. Weird. Actually, that spread real fast because that was not moldy yesterday. We actually got it and cut it yesterday. So, anyways, I'm rambling a little bit here. Yeah. So it's kind of there's a lot of tediousness with this, of course, because when you think about like cutting these bolts, right? You go, okay, they're going to need to be cut and then painted. That's not terribly difficult, other than the fact that, okay, we need to get all the parts out. We need to be somewhere that we're not going to piss people off if we're grinding. We need to get in here, protect the glass and paint of everything, and then do our chopping. And then we need to, stir the paint because you don't want it to look like crap. And then you got to protect everything from any paint runs, potential paint drips and whatnot. And so these are just tedious things. But we're well on our way. And then you gotta hope it doesn't rain, which if you can't tell, it kind of always looks like it is gonna rain. So we're preparing to head out on a grand adventure soon. On a grand adventure to better weather, much better weather. Maybe hotter weather, but yeah. So that'll be a nice change. I cannot believe, actually, this is a lot of mold just overnight. Like that's just overnight. That's crazy. Emma's in there doing our laundry. She's just finishing it up right now. We've got some more running around to do. Turns out we got 4 of the correct bolts, but we got like 8 shorter bolts when we really needed 8 of these longer bolts here. So got to make a run to Lowe's. We got to do some painting and doing this and that and this and that. And then we also need to, basically we got to put holes in the panels and then bolt them up. And I think then, yeah, they'll be pretty much mounted. And then it's just a matter of hooking our charge controller up. Hey, Emma. Hooking our charge controller up. Wiring that in, that's not a big deal. Wiring that in, that's not a big deal at all. And then, yeah, we basically just have to run side panels to each other. These 2 are already connected. We just need to run the cables from there to down here to like the joiner. And then, yeah, just connecting them up and then we're done. So this is easily the most complex, technically speaking, right? And it might not be that hard, that logically complex, but it's definitely the most complex and involved solar setup we've done. And I love it. Good update, I think. And shout out to Gypsy Bewitched. What a generous, very generous. So anywho, thank you guys for watching and we will see you in the next video. Bye guys.
Bye.